it comes from we having a national goal first. When we have a national goal, then we will have a national identity. And this is where we are going to. From there, every other thing will fall in place. We don't need somebody from the north or west. We only need a great mind to transform Nigeria. And that great mind, I have not seen. That great man can be you and it can be me. That great man goes down to the roots, goes down to the local government. Because Awolowo said, and I quote that, see, we cannot overemphasize the importance of local government. It is the platform upon which this superstructure called the federal government and the state government is built upon. If we don't have that, we cannot have a true national self-government. Like until myself and you at the grassroots level are able to acclimatize ourselves with the national goal at the grassroots level, and we do what is required of us as individuals. I told us we have responsibility to democracy so much as democracy has responsibility to us as well. There is a duty and there is a right. It is a principle in law. To every right there is a corresponding duty. It is that duty we Nigerians are shying away from. We all want change, but nobody is ready to work for that change. We are all clamoring for things to get better in this sector. It doesn't just all of a sudden by one morning get better. We see we have a long way to travel, but we can get it right within 4 years. We honestly really can get it. Nigeria is just 9,200 square kilometers. So what is there? We are ravaging in so many insecurities, food insecurity, security insecurity, all of those things. So what are you see, there is a lot. Like I said earlier that, see, it's a compound complex problem. And the solution has to be compound complex as well. Individuals have to understand that they have a role to play. Before we can even hold government accountable, we have to hold ourselves accountable to Nigeria first. While I was in school, I would see students damaging government properties, taps, and I'm like, this tap knob, you can operate it in a way that it is not going to get spoiled if you are being careful with it. In your father's house, you can't continue to spoil taps and them not spanking you or beating you. But because you know nobody is going to beat you or spank you, you decide to just do anything with government property. And I'll say, see, they will continue to replace this tap knob with the money they're supposed to use to do something else entirely. You keep on spoiling, they keep on repairing it. That money that they're using to repair like 5 times or 6 times, then the person will give me an excuse like, they are buying substandard product. I'm like, no, it is not substandard. I know all of these things. Maybe not every one of them is actually of a very high quality, but some are still of a very good quality, that if you manage very well, it can still last. But because you mismanage, you are not accountable, nobody will come and beat you about it, so you can mismanage it. So until we start doing something, because Julie, I'm going to make a point here. Until we start treating the government's property like, see, nobody is watching me truly, but I owe myself and every other person the duty not to spoil this thing. Until that day, Nigeria will still remain the way it is at the moment.
Okay. So they just concluded Ekiti election.
Yes.
So I think I see like 2 or 3 videos of youths showing or flaunting the money they get from their voters buyer or whatsoever. So I don't know, maybe you see those videos.
Yes, of course I did.
What kind of message does that video pass to you?
Well, first thing first, I'm an enlightened person. I'm an educated fellow. And I am passionate about the development and growth of Nigeria. While I cannot totally blame them, I will still also blame them. Yes, I said something that, see, education is important. And we are ravaging in something called poverty of the mind. Yes. And until we think above our stomach, until we think about what I'm going to eat, what is my child really going to eat? What is my child going to eat is important. But until we think above that level, this country will remain the way it is. Young people who can still think, who still have hands to work, selling their votes, or people buying their votes is a criminal offense. It should be criminalized. Not just people buying the votes, people selling the votes too are criminals. Yes.
Okay.
So if we are saying that we want to sanitize politics, see, it's not going to be the youth first, basically. It's going to be all of us first. Because it's not just the youth that will create their own job or employment by themselves. No. There has to be an enabling platform. Electricity has to work. Education has to work. It's not just the youth saying, go and get your PVC. All of these things exist only on our phones. Only technology. Those are the things that we see online. Elections are won in the grassroots. People who don't know anything about all these things we are saying. People who don't know the repercussion of all these things we are talking about. I've gone to communities where when I talk to them, they don't even know what is democracy. They don't even understand it. What they understand is that somebody will bring money, buy their votes, and then they sell it. That's the only thing they know. We, the elite, saying that, talking on Twitter, talking on this, talking on that, we've not gone to the grassroots where these politicians will go to and buy those things from them. I told us that a larger percentage of the Nigerian population is ravaging in political illiteracy. Outside that, every other thing too, illiteracy. Largely uneducated population. It's just the fair few. Let's say about how many of us, 20 million of us on Twitter, on Facebook, on this. What happens to the remaining 1+ million persons? At least between the age of 18 to 60 are young people, young able-bodied people in Nigeria. About 60% of that population, of 200 million plus population. So what happens to the remaining 100 million persons who are not aware that, see, don't sell your vote because we are trying to sanitize our democracy? We've not gone to the grassroots to speak in the language they understand. So when you see those Ekiti people, they might not even really know what is really going on. You are expecting somebody who is hungry to think clearly, somebody who over time the system has conditioned him or her to be poor. If people just say all of these things in the air, thinking that it is easy for anybody to be creative. You can't be creative when you are hungry, man. You can't think innovatively when you are starving. You can't think innovatively when the platforms are not there. It is easy for somebody to come on phone and say, I'm on my phone. I have a tripod. I have a Samsung phone. That's what I'm using to communicate with you right now. Somebody who is looking for job. There was a time I didn't even have a small Palasa phone as an undergraduate. You see, some of us have the ideas, but do we have the opportunities? Do we have the platforms? I've been going around with my campaign for PVC, not just a campaign, a reorientation campaign as well, a sensitization campaign. There are so many people that could help with finances, yet they are not doing it. They don't see any need to do it. They are looking for profits. So I have the idea. I want to sanitize. I still don't have the opportunities. So how much more somebody who has not even gone through the higher institution? How much more? How much of somebody who has not gone through secondary school? You see, in saner climes, let me tell you something, okay? What has worked in saner climes will work in Nigeria. Look at the Asian, I keep saying it, the Asian tigers are a model example that we can look at. Look at Taiwan, look at Singapore. They don't have as large as the population that we have in Nigeria. They don't have it. I think in Singapore, they are lesser than 20 million. I'm not even sure. While we have 200 million. But look at what has worked for them. Can it be done here in Nigeria? They invested greatly in what? Infrastructure and education. The budgetary allocation for education is still below 8%. It is 7.9%. And you expect us not to go on ASU strike. We are still suffering from the basics. As at 1965, at least Singapore already had free basic education for everybody in their country. Basic education, they already had it 1965. And in 2022, we don't still have free basic education. 2022. So where exactly are we going? We are just moving without any particular goal, no ambition. Nigeria is an ambitionless country. Everybody just wants to come, do their own, pack their own, and go. That is why I said
everybody wants to shop from the national cake, if I may say that.
Of course, the national cake. We must get our national dividend. A dividend of democracy. Everybody must get it. But that's not the way country who have goals, who have ambition operates. No. Because they think not just of themselves, but of every person who carry the citizenship card. Even you as an immigrant will benefit from it.
Okay. 2023 election, what do you see coming for 2023?
There are a lot of uncertainties at the moment. We still have about 215 days before we decide who would sit in Aso Rock and who we are going to call Mr. President or Madam President, if we have any. But we are at a crossroads. Seriously. We either get it right or wrong all over again, honestly. And I cannot say that only one person is right. I cannot say that if 2023 comes and Tinubu emerges, then he's the right candidate. No. I can't say if Atiku comes or Peter Obi comes, is the Oshawole. Like I said before, there are other people that would handicap and cripple the entire economy. Buhari is not the only person crippling the entire economy. The National Assembly are the ones crippling the entire economy, not just Buhari. Yes. So if we want to hold anybody accountable, we should hold 360 plus 109 legislators. Then all our state of assembly legislators, we should hold them accountable as well. They are the ones crippling the economy. So 2023 is a very, very critical stage in our democracy. Yeah. And I am not seeing anything, I'm not seeing a green light yet. Because anything can change, anything can happen between now and the next 7 months that we have left to decide.
Okay. So let me cut you there. When you said you've not seen any green light yet, I totally agree with that. The Kano chairman, I don't know, maybe it's chairman or councillor, convoy. Okay. I don't know if you see that video.
Okay.
So he has a convoy with different exotic cars. Is that the type of youth we are clamoring for to take over the politics?
You can see I sighed. I said it on BCOS, I think about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And I told them categorically that, see, the youths are not ready. Nah. The youths are never ready. The youths are, they are future leaders of tomorrow, but are they the solution to what we are clamoring for? Maybe first few, a 5% of 100 of them might be ready, like myself and you. But what happens to the remaining 95%? Out of this 95% are those people engaging in what? In internet fraud. Out of these people are those ones in a bar market. Out of them are those people in computer village in Lagos, swindling one person or the other, looking for one way or the other to maneuver things and steal from one person. Yeah. With that kind of system, with that kind of young person, see, an average Nigerian today is looking for one way or the other how to swindle you, one way to just manipulate the figure and get something big from somebody, just to cheat on one other person, just to trample on one other person's intelligence. That is what an average Nigerian is looking for out there. These are the same set of people we are saying that they should take over Nigeria. Where do we want to get to? Where? How?
We'll go back to square one.
How do you want to do it? That's why I said that, see, our government has failed us over time. I'm scared of the next generation. My generation is still fair, a bit. But when I look at what is coming behind me, When I look at the likes of the 18-year-olds we are producing, when I see the 10, 13-year-olds using TikTok, when I see what they are doing online, I'm afraid. I can confidently say that there is no future for Nigeria. Because those you guys call the future leaders of tomorrow are those I see on TikTok having nothing, doing nothing than what? Selling that future off. Parading that future, twerking that future off. So what is there? What will happen to the economy of Nigeria? What will happen to the technology? What will happen to the educational sector? What will happen to the agricultural sector? What will happen to aviation? When all of these things have been grossly underfunded over time, now I cannot blame us for who we are producing. We are what we are producing. Yes. Over time, we have malnourished those sectors. Now we are having half-baked children and we are clamoring. If Nigeria falls below, if Nigeria falls below, we are at the lowest ebb. If we sink low, we're only going to hell. And some people, every day is hell for them in Nigeria already. Yeah. These people we put there, I still say it. Your counselor is somebody's father in your community. Until we stop rewarding bad behaviors. Until we understand that, see, it is shifting. Before, it used to be in Bonu. Insecurity used to ravage them in Bonu. It's still ravaging them. It moved down to Kaduna. It is now in Abuja. It is now in the Southwest. How much more before it gets to our individual doorsteps? How much longer? Nigeria now is ranked as one of the most unsafe countries in the world, ravaging amidst several insecurities. We are sitting now at the very lowest ebb with them, with countries like Djibouti, country like Gambia, country like Algeria, Angola, all of those countries that we are sitting down with now.
The previous giants of Africa.
Countries without names, like very, very funny names. That is who we are sitting pretty with now. Even Ghana, their GDP per capita is far above ours. That is our neighboring country. And we still call ourselves the giant of Africa. How? How? So you see, 2023 is a very, very decisive year for us. If we don't get it right this very last time, there isn't going to be another time, honestly.
Okay, talking about 2023, as it says now, we have, let me use the word, 3 big fish. Although one is not as big as we may think or I may think, but let's say
the third force.
The third force, yeah. So let's take Peter Obi, Atiku, and Jagaban himself. Who will you vote for?
Do you want me to be sincere with you?
Very well, ma'am.
I honestly really haven't been precise, or I cannot say that this is the person I want to vote for come 2023. Not yet. Okay. But I am certain it is not Tinubu. I am certain it is not Atiku. I'm not certain yet if it is Peter Obi. I'm not certain about him yet, because this feels like a reminiscence of what happened in 2015. Okay. You guys come around and package this one, package that one, do this, sell somebody to us, sugarcoat everything. So it feels like as if something is about to repeat itself. But I am sure it is not Tinubu. I am 100% sure it is not Atiku either. Those are not the people we need right now. Our children will know no happiness. Our children will know what true democracy will be. Our children will forever be slaves when we have these people. Yes, stemming from history, you can go down the street and go and check by yourself. These people just have personal interest, nothing more, nothing less. Are those the people that we want to govern Nigeria and take us to the promised land? No. 2020, I remember 2025 when somebody was busy raising the broom. when Kinika was in problem, when now that Nigeria is in problem, we are turning to General Muhammadu Buhari. We turned to him 2015. Meanwhile, we were warned. Look at the military era. What did this person achieve? If not for Idi Agbon then. Now coming now, 8 years down the line, we are still where we were. In fact, we've gone below.
No, we've reversed a little. Let me use one.
In fact, a lot. Nigeria has gone 30 to 40 years back democracy. The only thing that I see, the only thing that is remaining is for them to be opening our doors on my own and be cleaning us. There's nothing called security anywhere. They did it in Owo. They successfully launched an attack and killed everybody in Owo.
But let me use Daddy Free's words. Daddy Freeze or his quotes. His quotes. He said, the Israelites and the Saudi Arabian, they build technology to defend themselves.
Yes.
We now call on the God of the people that build up technology to defend themselves, that is God, their God, to come and defend us. So I don't know if you get the point.
I get you correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
They
so
are worshiping their technology. Their technology is making their lives better. We are calling on their own God. I don't understand. How does it work? Is it what would even bring about? I've told you what will bring about innovation and things that we are not doing. And I feel that over time, our politicians have weaponized poverty of the mind. That is what sabotaging education, hindering education. No, but that's why we have Boko Haram, Bukis and Adam. They've over time dumbed the entire populace. That is why you see somebody killing somebody because of blasphemy. You are who against who?
Say it's jihad. That's not jihad.
Of the mind, you don't know what you are doing. You are insane. You've not seen the light yet. So they've weaponized those two things: poverty of the stomach, poverty of the mind. When you leave them poor, they cannot think, and they will never want to revolt. But is it not the time for us to actually even revolt the most? Is it not? Our parents did it. Seriously, our parents did it. We are still here doing the same thing. Ask yourself, would you want your child to still continue in this circle? An average Nigerian wants to jackpot. Let me be frank. I think as at early this year or last month, I wasn't thinking of jackpotting. But I was saying that if some set of people should emerge, yes, I was saying that if some people should emerge, maybe it's time for me to start thinking about it to jackpot. Sorry.
How will I advise you have that as a plan B? So I call it plan B.
When I was registering a man for his PVC about 3 months ago, this young guy of about maybe 24 or 23, I'm sure older than him. He was saying that last thing, last year, you pay 10,000 off one. I was like, so the only reason why you want to register, if you have the 10,000 you missed during the last election, that is why you're coming back now. So reorientation. I've said it that we are not practicing a democracy. What we are practicing is a measure of all the systems we have extra: parliamentary system, military system, unitary system. That is what we are practicing at the moment. We don't understand what democracy is. We've never for once felt democracy. We don't know it. And I'm saying that if we want to have democracy, it will happen in the next 20 years to come. Ask me how. Start teaching a child who is in primary school, who is in nursery school, democracy, the constitution, and in 20 years to come, we are likely to have a democracy by then. 20 years plus my age.
When they have already taken out our history in schools.
Yeah, that's another thing. I said that there's a lot of things that are wrong.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
There are some subjects that should be made compulsory. But let's stop it here. I said that I was just corroborating your statements that there are some subjects that should be made compulsory in school. We shouldn't just have English and math as compulsory subjects. What is math? What is English? We should have our own mother tongues compulsory. If you're a Yoruba child, Yoruba is compulsory for you. Government is compulsory, whether you are in science or you are in art or you are in commercial class. History is compulsory, not optional. It shouldn't be optional. Well, let's stop it here for today. It is really nice talking to you today.
So,
I've really had a nice time.
Before I let you go, please, what advice do you have for Nigerian youths?
Well, there's only one thing I've always said. In fact, it's my motto right now. That it is imperative that we actually make a bold venture into the political space in Nigeria. Not just youths. Let's look beyond this person just being young. The only reason why we have young people there is because of their vigor. Let's look out for somebody who has the intellectual capacity as well as the prowess, the agility. Let's look more for what? For intellectual capacity. That is what vigor is all about. Until we make that bold venture, politics trumps everything. Whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are working in one firm or this or that, a simple faulty law can disrupt everything you've been working for all your life. So it is high time we all go there, try to voice our own opinions, try to communicate our innermost intentions, try to represent our own ideas and our thoughts there. Just, you see, even if we have all of these thoughts, very good ideas in the hands of non-entity will still be a waste. So let's go there ourselves. We should not stigmatize politics as something that is a deadly game, is a brutal game, is a bad game. No, we should all go there with the purest intention to sanitize politics. I yield the mic for now.
All right, thank you very much for your time. We hope when we call you next time, you will oblige us your time. Thank you very much once again. We appreciate it.
Have a lovely day ahead. Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am.